Experience the fusion of deep suction and therapeutic heat, leaving you feeling restored. Discover a new level of vitality, empowering you to thrive. TheraVolt Coffee. Restore, empower, revitalize. Now available at SoothHub.com. Save up to 40% using my discount code Daphne at checkout. SoothHub.com. Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic Wednesday so far. First, I want to say I deeply apologize that I did not plan this show in advance. I only put the show out there yesterday, and a lot of people were not aware because I usually do things last minute. So, first, I want to apologize for doing this show so late and only giving people like a day to figure it out. Um, I just want you guys to know that when you've gone through something that took a lot of energy, a lot of your time, it drains you. And I'm not going to lie, I'm fucking upset. And it's only been about a week, but I'm still angry. So forgive me if I say a few cuss words. I'm really trying my best to do this show as calm as I can because it really, really hurts. Y'all, everybody that has followed me all this time, you guys know that I care about Black men and women. I've been helping out more Black men lately because they need us. They need help. And men, they're not going to ask for help like we would because we're suffering. Men will just swallow it up, go to work every day, live their life with the world on their shoulder. They never ask for help. And I told you guys that in 2011, I saved my friend Anthony's life, who was getting ready to commit suicide. And I saved his life. And it bothered me that they didn't know he was out there. They didn't know that he took a piece of a can that can become a weapon. And it bothered me how that man did not get the same help that we get. They follow us everywhere, but the men, they'll be all right. So when I saved my friend Anthony's life, that told me that a lot of men are not getting the same help. If me and a man came into the emergency room at the same time and we were both having a panic attack, they would take me first. He's tough. He can take it. It shouldn't be that way. It should never be that way. So anyone that has been following me for a long time, you guys know that mental health has been in my life for a long time. And only people that have been following me would understand that. I don't expect an idiot to understand that. But y'all gonna hear some shit tonight that's gonna blow your fucking minds because this is what I've been going through for 10, almost 11 motherfucking months. And I'm fucking upset. I'm fucking upset. I'm fucking upset because this Black man tried to take my career, my livelihood, and he tried to do it to my husband too, off of some bullshit. This man allowed a bunch of women to control him enough to go online and disrespect me, my mother, my husband, my followers, and my business. I'm fucking upset. I'm fucking upset. Because a Black man was the leader of this. But he was controlled by a bunch of Black women. And some of you guys know who I'm talking about. This man didn't know anything about me until I fell out with people that he likes and respects. This man has a wife and kids, but he decided to attack another Black woman online without the facts. I'm fucking upset. Y'all don't realize what I've been through and what my husband's been through. This Black man didn't do it alone. He has a team. There is a team of Black people right now trying to destroy everything I built because they're jealous. There's no other reason. Y'all jealous. You're mad about how people love me? So to get back at me, you go and say some bullshit that you knew can probably take everything from me? I'm fucking upset. And I want y'all to see it and hear it because a lot of y'all not going to believe me. I've been telling y'all for months that when people don't like me, they attack my deceased mother. It happens every fucking time. It never fails. But you call yourself licensed? Experienced? What? What? Oh, we're going to get into some shit tonight. And I'm going to do the best that I can to be calm. But y'all don't understand what the fuck I've been through in the last 11 months. So I got to show you. Last year in October, a therapist, I'm going to call him by his last name, Nelson. He was enlisted to attack me. On October 13th, 2023, he did a video on me. He didn't like the advice I was giving somebody on Obsidian's channel. Obsidian used to be on YouTube, but his YouTube got terminated. I think he's only on Rumble now. Obsidian is the same person that told me that there were certain people out there sending people my information. He tipped me off. He owed me no loyalty. But he told me about certain individuals who were sending random people my information because they need an army and I don't. But y'all keep thinking that I'm making this up. So when this black man did his show on October 13th, it didn't bother me. A lot of people are not going to like what I say or what I do. Who cares? I brushed my shoulders off and I kept moving. But he wanted more. Nelson said that's not enough. So he went back to his team of minions who told him to do it in the first place. Because you have a license. They'll believe you because they don't believe us, but they'll believe you, Nelson. So they gathered up and said, what can we do to Daphne that would make her react in a way that isn't the right way? Talk about her mother. Yeah. This is them in the meeting. Because there's no other way they could have done this. Talk about her mother. It has to be her mother. That's why she hates black women. It has to be her mother. Okay. So he gets back on this YouTube channel. And he tells his followers about a relationship that I had with my mother. His own version of it. He told his followers that I don't mention my mother enough. So that means that we have a strained relationship. How fucking dare you, Nelson, the therapist who specializes in grief counseling for adolescents and people? What? The crazy thing is, Nelson played my own show back to people to attack me. I clearly said that my mom was gone and he still didn't catch it. Nelson doesn't listen to understand. He listened to attack me because he heard me say twice that my mother wasn't here. And yet this idiot went on to say that me and my mother had a strained relationship and I don't talk about her in my life. What? So his follower had to tell him, she said her mother died when she was 16. Oh, okay. That explains things. See, here's the thing. My mother was off limits. Nelson had no right talking about something he didn't know anything about. I want y'all to hear it. Now, listen, he might copyright strike me. That's fine. But as long as you guys can see the truth live, make sure you're screen recording. Because I'll take this copyright strike standing 10 toes up. I'd be happy to take it. Because he used all my content on his show. All of my content was on this show. And I'm going to even let you hear what he was actually sharing. This man even talked about my domestic violence. Telling me I gave my abuser a pat. It's like, what? And you're a therapist? Man, see, he's a licensed therapist. I have 4 college degrees. One of them is in criminal justice. I would never get on a platform and slander somebody and talk about something I didn't know shit about. I would want to know why you want me to attack this person. What did you do? What did you say? But no, this man allowed certain individuals to control him, where he's putting his whole livelihood on the line now. Because everything that I'm going to do and say is within the law. I'm not going to slip up again and say the dumb stuff I said. But I want y'all to hear this. Just in case I get a copyright, I would advise you guys to screen record, screen record. I'm thankful that he submitted this video as evidence, or I wouldn't have been able to show you guys better than I can tell you. Because everybody keeps going on their own YouTube channels. She always says her mother, and she's lying. Okay, so when I let you guys hear it, I know I'm not going to get any apologies, and that's okay, because the truth will always prevail. So let me get into the first video so we can all be amazed.
Goes by the Queen of Accountability. She prides herself on taking women to task and holding women accountable for their bad behaviors in parenting, their bad behaviors in relationships, whatever it is, whatever bad thing that they do. She is the person that keeps she's the person that keeps you accountable. So this person, that her social media brand is keeping women accountable. She says keeping men accountable also, but the main crux of it is keeping women accountable. This person does not have a mental health background, although she claims that she does. Her professional background is in case management, as in a child protective services caseworker.
So I want to address that first part. That is Nelson, the therapist. He said my background is only in case management. See, people that don't know me would say that. Nelson knows nothing about my life, my struggles, nothing. He's only taking clips and pieces, but he didn't really do his research. My background isn't just in case management, but if you were a true follower, or if you were a true, I don't even know how to say this, if you were a person that actually did their due diligence to ensure that what they put out there is accurate and factual, then I wouldn't be upset like this. But when you go out there and tell people like all I did was case management, you're shitting on everything else I've done in my life. How dare you? Oh, but it gets better. And guys, if you can't hear it, turn it up. I'm sorry. This is the best and loudest I can get this. But hold on, let me find the other video.
I said in the beginning of the stream that sometimes we have a problem in our community where we try to get the bargain bin versions of things, where instead of a therapist, we'll get a life coach. Instead of a personal trainer, we'll just get a DVD that shows a workout. We don't put the true investments into the things that we actually need to get better. She is a prime example of, she's a bargain bin therapist. Not even, I can't even put therapist in the name with her. Yeah.
He said I'm a bargain bin therapist. I guess he meant bargain bin life coach. When people can't afford a therapist, they go to the bargain bin and they grab Daphne out of the bin. He's shitting on what I do. He's jealous because he gets no clients. He's not getting anybody. So he wants to shit on what I'm doing because he doesn't like it. Now that's freedom of speech. That's your own opinion, but it isn't true. Just because you went to school and got a license and I went to school and became a life coach, everybody doesn't want to be a therapist. I wear many different hats. He couldn't walk a mile in my shoes. What he's saying he's doing, man, it doesn't amount to what I've done. I can guarantee you, I can give him 216 contracts from this year alone of people that paid for my bargain bin life coaching. Ha! Let's do it. But you're not going to shit on my hard work. Don't do that to me. You don't know shit about me. You don't know my walkthrough. You're listening to YouTube videos. If that's how you do your work in real life, man, I feel bad for anyone that has gotten his services. He's judging me off of my videos. I'm not his client. I never asked him for his help. So when you wear that hat and you get on this YouTube channel and you spread lies and misinformation, am I not supposed to react? He didn't just do freedom of speech. He drug my name through the fucking mud. The Queen of Accountability. Like nobody would go and check that on Instagram and see my real name. Calling me by my handle does not protect me. It did not protect me. Nelson.
Those people that make it seem like they are just so invested in you and they worry so much about you and that they're the nicest person in the world. But you notice some things with this person, like this person will give you $1, or this person will give you $10, and you think that they just did a nice thing for you, and you turn around and you look on social media and they got a picture posted of them handing you $10, like just say with a caption like, yeah, just trying to be a blessing, y'all, pay it forward. Now it's okay, it's a nice thing that you gave $10, but you lose the power of the gesture you made when you post it for everybody to see. And that's the problem, is that the people that are doing things they are claiming is for the community and for the betterment of people, but in reality they're doing that so that they can build up their status, so that they can look good, so that they can have more credibility.
So Nelson said that I'm the type of person that will give somebody $1, $10, and then post myself doing it. You guys have been following my channel for a long time. Have you guys ever seen me post a photo of me giving anybody any money? Please tell me when I've done that. How dare you? Now, I cannot stop people from singing my praises on their own channel and other people sharing it. If that's what they want to do that. But those people that I've helped this year, there's some right now in this chat. They will tell you that everything I've done for them, they've never seen it on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. I don't do that. But when people do give me praise, shout out to MTR, shout out to Art of Kicks. When I sent them custom pillows, I didn't put, I need you to make a YouTube video and give me praise or I'm going to be freaking ticked off. No. When MTR received my gift, he was inclined to make the video on his own free will because he loved the gift that I got him. I took time in making that pillow for him. I knew what it was like to lose a parent. But then you got these idiots online saying that that was sympathy gifts because they didn't think of it, because they're not really supporting these people. A lot of them were just moderating for them, but they weren't really supporting them. It was all about them coming up. I've sent pillows to people for many years. Anybody know Richard Jefferson, who's on ESPN every day? I sent him something special and he gave me my props, but I didn't tell him to do it. Why would I tell a millionaire to give me my props? Come on, people. But according to Nelson, I do things for affirmation because I want to feel good and strong and that's fucked up because that's not why I do things. Again, I'm on a YouTube platform right now. Can anybody send me a super chat? Send me a super chat. You can't. So if I was all about money and not helping, I wouldn't use this platform. I would tell people, let's go on Twitter and do a Twitter space. I'll make big bucks there, but I'm here. So people like Nelson who don't know me, don't know that I do things because I care about people. I genuinely care about people. There's no fakeness behind me. And if I was to bring everybody I've helped this year onto a show, it would take me all year and next year to finish it. Y'all don't know what I do outside of this. I genuinely love our Black women and men when they're doing right. But don't get that confused. When I hold you accountable, I would want you to hold me accountable. And I will hold myself accountable tonight. Because what I did was I enlisted my husband and told him what this man said about me online and about his mother-in-law. Because I wasn't going to go at it with him by myself when I have a husband. But I should have thought twice because clearly this man wanted clout off of my name. But when he talked about my mother, I saw red because he said something that cost me some clients. Because people started to ask me, is that why you talk about Black women a lot? Because you and your mother didn't get along? Do you know how that felt? It took me a couple of days to respond to this therapist because I was trying to tell people, no, that ain't true. But in his eyes, it was true. And that was what he said was he was defaming my character because him saying that made Black women look at me differently. If you go to my social medias, When do I attack a black woman? Define attack. Telling her I figured you'll say that? I don't call them bitches and whores. I've said 304s. I've said high calorie, dehydrated wig. And you will notice that these same women are starting to use my lingo because they want to be me. I said, I've been saying dehydrated wig for a long time. They've been recycling my words.
There's these personalities that are online giving, like literally giving advice to people on what to do in particular situations when they are not licensed, when they don't have a vested interest in people, but yet they are lying to our community. And that is a big problem that we have inside of our community, is that we have this mentality where we got to get the bargain bin for everything that we do. We can't get a regular therapist. We got to go to the bargain bin and get a life coach. Like we're interchanging these things because they're cheaper. We think that we think we're getting a deal. We're thinking we're going to get the same quality, and people come away not truly understanding how important a therapist is. So there's one person online. She goes by the Queen of Accountability, and I'm not going to talk about her real name because I'm going to break it down in terms of personality factors. So I'm not going to share any of the personal information, but I'm going to go through some of the clips that she has posted online where she's kind of talked about herself, and she's kind of like shown her point of view and how she interacts with people, because a lot of it is incredibly problematic and dangerous. Really, it is. This is somebody that is literally pretending to be a qualified mental health practitioner.
Pretending to be a qualified guys. I tell everybody I'm not a therapist. I'm not licensed. I cannot diagnose, but I can recommend. Anyone that has been following me would know that I always throw that disclaimer out there. And here he is calling me a pretender. He's shitting on what I do. That's now that again, that right there again is defamation. Calling me a pretender. You haven't seen my degree. See, they say I don't have these credentials, but they never proved that I didn't have them. Nelson also said I'm not married. I've been watching. I've been peeping. People have been sending me things. He also said that I'm not married. So for you to be a licensed therapist, and my name is Daphne Sutton, and my husband's name is William Sutton. Am I speaking to myself tonight? Then why the fuck would I change my name? I mean, guys, some of this is like, this is who y'all sending y'all kid to? And he can't even tell a verified married name to someone that's Facebook married? So why is my Instagram verified under Daphne Sutton? But see, that insult me by calling me my maiden name because, that's what haters do. But this man also said that I wasn't married, and I have that receipt too. That right there blows my mind. You went to school and got all these credentials, and you can't tell that I'm married. That's scary because my last name is Sutton. But I let him tell it.
Necessary. There are plenty of times when there's abuse going on inside of a house, and kids need protection. This was her profession. DIFUS caseworkers are not therapists. They are not clinicians. They do not know anything about mental health. They do not perform any kind of counseling activities. They don't work with kids with depression. They don't work with kids with anxiety. They simply investigate whether a report of abuse is founded or unfounded. And based off of that information, they take the appropriate actions. So that is her background. So from that, my opinion is that you see a lot of mess. You see a lot of bad parenting. You see a lot of crazy stuff when you work in that profession. It's a very high burnout field. Once you start seeing that, you start to develop a mindset where you believe that you can easily spot out when somebody's in the wrong. you can now start to make decisions on cases and tell parents how to take care of their kids, and give parents conditions on getting their kids back. You let that power could easily go to your head, and you can ruin families with that. So she's moved from that type of background to now doing these internet investigations, where she is looking at people on the internet and investigating their lives, their actual lives, where she'll literally call the police on somebody in another state and try to file charges against somebody. She will literally go on other people's social media pages and start badgering them and say that she's holding them accountable, people that she doesn't even know. But she does it under the guise of, I'm trying to protect people. And that's where we fall into these like sticky situations, because we always want a hero. So anybody that's online posing like they're doing the community a big service, especially in the Black community, that's really looked at like we try to prop these people up and give them a pat on the back, even if they are completely wrong. And that's the problem in this case.
So Prophet and Kwame, just hold back. I'm not taking I don't want nobody to talk just yet. So, and it's funny because as soon as I do this show, you see people starting to create new shows to deal with what I'm about to say, because that's what people do. Now, I want to remind you that we had court on Thursday. So these people had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. They had enough time to put out what happened, but they wanted to wait for the Queen of Accountability so that they can go after me, because they're losers in real life. That's what they do. And I find it funny that a lot of people are speaking for him, but he's not speaking for himself. But he had a lot to say about me, my husband, my friends, my family. He had a lot to say. And now all of a sudden, he's letting other people do his dirty work. No, that's not going to work. And I want you to know that whatever you're hearing after this show, they're lying. Look at who's saying it. Probably one, guys, please mute, or I'm going to kick you off. Please mute. Mute, mute, mute. Mute, mute, mute. Thank you. What I want you guys to understand is that they're going to say it from their point of view. But I know what my attorney said, and you'll get my attorney's information today. So you can call him and he can confirm what I'm about to say today. Because you're going to hear other people, third parties, running their fucking mouth like they always do, because they're losers in real life. And they're mad that they took a big L. And just to give you guys a warning, if you're still spreading that old New Jersey shit, you will be striked. If I were you, I would go back and look at the BS you put out there, and you better fix it. You better fix it, because after this show, I'm coming for everyone who posted the misinformation and try to make me look like I'm fucking Suge Knight. You will be held accountable. But I want to remind you, I knew that once I did this show, there would be a new show coming up after mine. I know people's play before they do it. I've been doing this too long. That master's in psychology is going to work. I told about 50 people, watch this. When I do this show, watch these YouTubes and watch how it changes to a show coming up. And damn it, I was right. I am too good. I knew it, because they were waiting for me to respond. They expected me to say something on Thursday, but I had to hold it in. I had to thank God for the victory first. And I had to get out all my anger before I did it, this show. They had enough time, but they didn't do it because they were waiting on me. I'm the leader. They're the followers. That's why they're after me. They need to use some of my content. They might even use some of this content today, because they ain't shit without the Queen of Accountability. If you're still using my content and talking about me, that means that you need me. I don't need you. And you will see that all these pages are under 4,000 subs. No one's higher than that. And if they are over that, there's a lot of them buying support. You'll see that too. But I want you guys to know that I called the play. I'm so good. They don't think I know how they move. Okay, so let me go to the next video I was going to play, and then I'm going to get to my guests. Hold on one second. I think I did this one. Let me see if I did. Hold on. A couple people that said they would join, but we're just going to be free here to speak about what we've went through, okay? I've told people about the traumas that I went through, because people tend to think that because I'm the Queen of Accountability, I've never went through any type of trauma myself, and I did. To those who have followed me for years and they know all about me, They know I didn't grow up in an easy life. I lost my mother when I was 16 years old. I was still a sophomore in high school, right? For any woman to lose a mother who's teaching you how to be a better woman, that's hard. A lot of women that I grew up around that did not have their mothers, they became hoes. So we're going to keep it real here on this platform. I went to school with a lot of these hoes. And I'm going to say hoes because they haven't changed. So, and they know who I'm talking about. And some of them I'm not even friends with today because they don't like accountability. Well, when you were in high school, you were loud. I don't give a fuck how loud I was. I wasn't a hoe. Even when I lost my mother, I didn't become a hoe. And then that following year, when I was a junior, I lost my grandmother on my mother's birthday. So I got hit with two big traumas, bang, bang, right to the heart, right? So I didn't have a woman figure in my life to tell me how to be a better woman.
So one thing with that, can you hear a lot of black and white thinking? I didn't go through this, or I went through trauma, and even though I went through my trauma, it didn't impact me to where I acted like this. She's making it seem as though because I didn't do this, then there's no excuse for you to do this. And that's the first kind of peek into her mindset, is that she believes the things that have happened in her life, her response to things that have happened in her life, are the norm, are the standard. That's a clear sign of the way she looks at other people and the way she looks at herself. So that's one thing right there. Yes, very, very element, and you see people that's like that will try to, people like that will look up clinical terms online and throw them into their live streams out of place, and just so that they can sound as though they know what they're talking about. She sounds like one of these types of people.
So there he is again, judging me by the way I speak. His followers were also attacking me and diagnosing me, which I will show you that too. So someone that carries a license that's online, defaming, slandering, and throwing in a little bit of free speech, and then they're allowing their followers to diagnose me when I'm none of their clients. I mean, I don't know who they are, but they are saying things about me, right? And they don't even know me, but they don't like the way I speak because this is who I am. I'm not going to act like I am just expeditiously and no, this is how I speak. And that's why people come to me. I don't need to fake it. I don't have to act like I am just sitting at a desk with a pen and I'm waiting for you to tell me all your traumatic experience. That's not me. I'm not going to be who you want me to be. But again, a lot of this to him was free speech, but it wasn't. It was slander. Now, this next video I'm about to play, I have to hold myself because I don't want to get angry. And then after that, I'm going to bring on some people and let them speak. I'm going to go to this next video, and I just want to warn my dad. Dad, you don't have to listen to this part, but this is what made me angry. This is what he lied about when we had trial in Illinois. He told the judge, I didn't talk about her mother. I said caregiver. He said caregiver on January 20th. But in October, you said my mother, and you mentioned her twice, and you didn't know anything about my mother. And for you to forget that I said she was gone and still say this shit tells you that he doesn't have great active listening skills. So why would he listen to a child with accuracy if he couldn't even listen to me right? He played two of my videos and me saying twice that my mother was gone. The second time I said my mother was gone and my grandmother passed on my mother's birthday. And yet he still talked about my father and mother. But y'all sitting here saying that I'm crazy, right? Well, let me let y'all hear it. And I hope he's listening because maybe he forgot he said this. Because people think that men can't step up. That is absolutely untrue. Men can step up. See, the difference is having a dad and he's raising girls, he's going to be strict as a motherfucker. My dad was strict and he didn't even go to the military. He was strict. My curfew was 9 p.m. My brother, who was 2 years younger than me, his curfew was 11. Let that sink in. That to me was a trauma. I didn't get to be out longer than my brother and I was older. So, but I understood where my dad was coming from. My dad had 3 daughters. All of us were teenagers. all of us. And we were all, I didn't fully develop until maybe my junior year, but my two older sisters, man, they were there. They had the bodies. And none of us were hoes. None of us had that reputation in high school. Because my father taught us how to be women, not 304s. Now, a lot of the women that I grew up with, their excuse was I didn't have this and that. That doesn't mean that you should use that as an excuse to be a hoe. So even when I lost my mother and my grandmother, I was still able to graduate high school without missing one day of high school in 4 motherfucking years. That is an accomplishment nobody can take from me. How did I do it? Because I knew my mother would want me to finish school. And
so you hear how she pats herself on the back for a lot of things, but she's using that to describe what she views as normal. Like, this is the way that people should be. And so that's, and then you also notice that she's only talked about her father. So apparently her father is the person that raised her. So you start to think to yourself now, this person calls himself the queen of accountability. She's holding women accountable, raised by her father. Clear indication of there's some type of experience or childhood upbringing, perhaps with mother not being there or a strained relationship with mom, to where now there's this biased view towards women. That's one of the first distinctions you can kind of draw.
Not become what everybody else was becoming, right? So that was a trauma. So everybody heard what he said about my mother, right? Because he forgot. He literally said those two things about my mother. Something that how she raised me and having a strained relationship with her mom. Did anybody hear caregiver? Did anyone hear caregiver in that statement? I didn't. I heard my mom. And then he said that that's the reason why I have an issue with women. That is, that's defamation. That is not an opinion. What you are telling people is that I don't like Black women because of how my mother and me, how our relationship was. That's what he said. That is what he said. Y'all heard him. What gives him the right to say that about my mother? He didn't hear. Now, y'all heard me play them other 2 videos of me saying my mother was gone. So how did this therapist miss that twice? Because he's so jealous and angry and bitter and letting these people get in his ear that he's not active listening. He didn't listen to that part. You talked about a deceased woman and you knew nothing about what you were talking about. But you put that out there in the atmosphere. And then you got mad when my friend Ruben told you you had 24 hours to take it down. Now it's a problem because what you said was about my mother, who's no longer here, Nelson. And you're wrong. How can I be my mother's pill lady, handling her life in my hands with her pills, but we had a strained relationship? Yeah, that was fucked up. That hurt. I said, so he must have knew my mother. No, he didn't. He didn't. And when you talk about someone's deceased family member, you better be careful because in the streets, they don't play that. And I've said that to people many times. You cannot disrespect the dead or kids because there are people in this world that won't give you a pass. We see rappers every day get humbled. We saw Soulja Boy get humbled when he told Metro Boomin, hey, happy Mother's Day. All he said was happy Mother's Day, but everybody knew that Metro Boomin's mother was murdered. And what happened? Them goons came to him and said, hey, you better fix it. And what happened? He put the car in reverse and said, my bad, fam. I still don't like you, but my bad. You see how the streets do it? So was I wrong for doing a video in response to his lies and him defaming me and my mother? I mean, guys, this is a licensed therapist saying a bunch of bullshit. And he was wrong. And he never said sorry for this. Because he doesn't take accountability. But people are sending their kids to him. That's a problem in this whole, and you see why people don't go to therapists all the time? You see why? Because they make big mistakes. This right here for a grief counselor, I would never want my kid to be in his company because of what he's saying about other people's deceased family, and he knows nothing about them. He never did a case study on my mother. He just went out there and said whatever he wanted to say out of his butt. His words. Let me get to this video and then I'm gonna I have my special guest. Hold on 1 second.
She brings.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna start with this one. So Prophet, you can take yourself off mute. I'm gonna start with Prophet and Babe, then I go to you. So guys, if you remember when I had Prophet PI on my show, And he told Nelson that he had 24 hours to take down the video that he said about me, my mother, my family. He had that time. So Nelson then talked about my friend Prophet. He said a bunch of things about him too that were untrue. And I'm going to play that clip and then I'm going to let him speak. And then we're going to speak to my husband. And guys, remember, let's keep it clean because I don't want to do anything to ruin anything. We already know how he moves. And I want to remind you, in New Jersey, a citizen complaint is when a citizen goes down to the court and says, this happened. In New Jersey, you can say somebody threw a pickle at your forehead and they will give that person a case. And you got to go to court. That's how simple it is. He did not call the police on that day. He went down to the courts and filed a citizen complaint. So I just want you guys to understand that that's what he did. So let me play what he said about my friend Prophet, and then Prophet can speak.
She brings on this she brings on a felon onto her live stream. It said my wife's name online. All lies, by the way, because I have never had a controversy inside of my marriage, so I automatically knew that he's just pulling stuff out of his butt. So he starts making up a bunch of stuff so he can sound good to the online crowd that's now riled up, like, oh, how dare he say something about the queen, how dare he. And that threat was, you have 24 hours to take this video down that you did, or else. And he started laying out threats. And so I take threats very seriously. So I looked online to see who this person is, to make sure they're a real person. And that's how I found out that this person is like a career felon. Like, so apparently right now he's in between stops in prison. So he's currently not in his current stint in prison. So while he's out, now it's going to be a problem, because if you're a felon and you have gotten in trouble for doing some illegal things, it's reasonable to believe that this person would try something against you.
So before you come on, Prophet, I want to reiterate. Nelson said that my friend Prophet threatened him. And he's so scared of my friend Prophet because he's in and out of prison. He's currently in his prison stint, blah, 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 BS. So first I'm going to ask him a question and then I'm going to let him go. Let him speak. Prophet, I just want to ask you, as of today, did you ever go to New Jersey, or did you ever do a virtual hearing for threats made to Nelson? Yes or no?
No.
So guys, I want to remind you, my friend Prophet was the one that told him, you got 24 hours. My friend Prophet was the one that mentioned his wife's name and license and MVP and all that. Am I right about that, Prophet?
Yeah.
And then we just heard Nelson say that he takes threats very serious. But unfortunately, he forgot to put Prophet on the docket. He only put me and my husband. So all you guys can now sum up that he targeted me and my husband. He didn't care about the felon he told y'all online he was scared of. He was scared of the two people without the records. And my friend Prophet is very open about his background. He never hides the fact of what he did in his life. So calling him a felon doesn't hurt him, but put some respect on his name. Go ahead, Prophet.
Yeah. I never made a threat to him. I told him he had 24 hours or I'm going to report him. That was the wording that I used to him. Never made a threat to him at all. And then him calling me a felon and in between stints and all this stuff, that's a bold lie. I mean, that was straight up defamation. If he had looked a little further, he would have saw that I was a victim of police brutality, brought up a lawsuit and everything because my house caught on fire. I was accused of it. But I mean, it's all in my book. I was accused of it and everything. There was a whole rabbit hole that went down where the officer ended up forging the signatures of judges and covering up stuff. I mean, all kinds of things. And, it ended up in my book. Just for this right here, the guy ended up moving out of town and transferring a whole nother state because, he wanted to move away and get away and everything to continue on his rampage. But nobody ever made a threat to, what's his name? Nelson. Nobody ever made a threat to him at all. It was all All that stuff he said right there made me laugh. I was like, wow, really? Man, golly, I'm a felon in between stints and all this stuff, So, but
Well, let me
yeah,
ask you this: you've been to prison? Are you in between stints in prison right now?
nope, never been to prison.
Oh, whoa, wine, wine. Can you repeat that last statement?
I've never been to prison.
Stop there. So, if somebody's going online and telling people that you are currently in between prison stints, is that damaging to your reputation, sir?
Oh, yes,
Okay, let me ask you this: is that counted as freedom of speech or defamation?
it's defamation.
Ding, 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 ding. Okay, you win the prize. So I want you guys to understand that he was adding things that were untrue, and that's not freedom of speech. See, when he did trial with me in Illinois, the judge that doesn't like me even told him, yeah, that is not all freedom of speech. So he knew that he messed up, and that's why he did not resurface those videos. To this day, he never did, and his minions never brought that up. But Prophet, to you, thank you for admitting all that stuff, because he said that I said his wife's name, his MVP program, I made the threats, I did all that, and I never did. But that's what he said I did, and I just want to say thank you for being honest. And didn't we talk about what I was going to say on paper?
Yeah.
So I noticed that a lot of Nelson's like minions did YouTube videos trying to throw me under the bus as if I did something wrong to you, not knowing that me and you already talked about what I was going to say on the report. Is that correct, sir?
Yeah, we sure did.
Well, I'm sure that person feels dumb, because what they were trying to do is say that I'm not being a good friend to you. But they didn't know what we were talking about outside of this. But again, I know he's not going to come back and say he's sorry for saying that you were in and out of prison. He's not going to do that. So do what you have to do, Prophet. And I'm sorry that this man lied on you too. And the fact that you didn't make the docket, I know you're still shocked about that too, because he just told everybody, I take threats very seriously. This man's been to prison. But unfortunately, he only put me and my husband on the paperwork. Why do you think that is, Prophet?
Because he knew it was a lie. He knew it was a lie and it wouldn't hold up.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, I want to say thank you. Was there anything else you want to say? How people can reach out to you? Because, like, listen, guys, Prophet is not a small time person. He has almost 500,000 followers on TikTok. This man has saved a lot of kids and people. This man has also worked with the FBI, and all the receipts are on his TikTok. So another thing that blew me with Nelson, he didn't do his research on Prophet PI on TikTok, because then he would have knew. How could this man be helping the FBI if he's a Prophet? How? Why is the FBI working with someone that's in between prison stints?
Right.
I
Right.
mean, I'm
I mean,
confused, sir.
I was, it was me and my team that was the one that, ended up getting those officers down there in Rankin, Mississippi arrested because we turned over all the information to the DOJ and the FBI. It wasn't the attorneys, nothing like that. We turned the attorneys over onto that. But it was us who got them busted. It was us who have found a lot of these missing people that have been murdered and all that stuff. We found them, but we work closely with the FBI, even with the missing six, Missouri six. We're currently working with the detectives up there in Missouri and the FBI. They've come down to visit. We've talked and everything, and they actually have me teaching them about cults and how they operate. So that's a lot of stuff that, when people start talking and running their mouths, they don't know anything. I just sit back and laugh because I'm like, okay, people know my history that know me, and all that stuff he's saying is a bunch of bull. Him and the other two that are sitting up there running their mouths,
Oh,
they
yeah.
don't know what they're talking about.
And I had a question before you wrap up, because I got to let my husband speak, because my husband, he had a long day. But I wanted to ask you a question. You're in the state of Tennessee, correct?
Yes.
Now, in Tennessee, can you go down to the courts right now and file a protective order against me?
Yeah, I can go down there and say whatever I want to say, and they'll give it to me.
Okay, so you said you can say whatever you want to say, and most likely they'll give it to you.
Yep.
Okay, so what if you said a bunch of gibberish and they denied your emergency order? What happens after that? What does the court do?
Actually, on that right there, I mean, if they dismiss it or they close it out and everything, it's usually just closed out.
No. What I'm saying is, if you were trying to get an order against me, an emergency order in your court in Tennessee, and they denied the emergency order, what happens after the denial?
It's usually just thrown out.
No, it's not usually thrown out. When I'm talking about, if you were initially trying to get the order against me, and you said a bunch of gibberish.
Oh, okay, yeah, they will allow you to refile. They will allow you to refile, and and you have to, put in that person's address and all that stuff. But one of the tricks
Okay,
that a
stop
lot of
there. So when they deny your order, they
yeah,
set a court date for the
yeah,
plaintiff and defendant. Is that correct?
yeah, they set a court date.
How do they alert the defendant of that hearing?
They usually just send out a piece of mail. Um, they'll send out a piece of mail. Rarely do you see a sheriff deputy or process server come to your door and everything, unless you live in that town. But
Mhm.
other than that, they send out a piece of mail.
So what if I don't get that piece of mail? What happens to me, the defendant?
Usually, it's a default.
When you say default, that means that that person can get a protective order because I was unaware of the hearing.
They can, yeah, they can and everything, and
Wow. Even
but
if they denied the emergency
yep,
one?
yep, they can get it.
Wow. And that's Tennessee? That's in
Yep,
Tennessee? Oh,
yep.
wow. I didn't know that.
That's why a
Thank you
lot of
for that
that's why a lot of
information.
cases have had to resurface because they've allowed that to happen, and people have been wrongfully accused.
Yes. Thank you for that. Man,
Yeah,
that sounds familiar. And because you're in Tennessee and we've been cool for a long time, I know I showed you something early in July. Um, I just want to say thank you for putting that out there. And I hope that people recorded that part because at the end of the day, people think because the order is in place on someone, that means that everything they said was true, but they're not saying the full truth. Is that correct?
right.
Wow. So you mean to
That's
tell
just
me
like
that?
if a woman goes down, and say, domestic abuse, and the judge get up there, they'll give it to her, and most of the time, I'm gonna tell you some of the tricks that they do. Most of the time, what they do, they'll give them a fictitious address, or they'll give them an address that person no longer resides at, and all that stuff, and then make it seem like that you haven't answered, and then it's like an automatic, they give it to them.
I mean, in the state of Illinois, I've had many orders against people, and they never did anything by default unless they tried to serve someone 4 times, and the sheriff confirmed that this person is home, but they're acting like they're not home. And I've seen
Right,
that happen, but they would never rule because someone was not properly served. In Illinois, that's against the law. It would not happen that way. You would have had to be properly served in order for that to happen. So it's sad that in places like Tennessee, you can be unaware and you don't find out until it's in your name. It's sad, but that's the world, y'all. I just wanted to throw that out there because Prophet does live in Tennessee. Prophet, thank you so much, sir, and keep doing the great things that you're doing. And I hope you have a blessed night. Okay.
yes, you too.
Okay, hon. Okay, guys. The next guest I have is my wonderful husband. And before my husband comes on, and before I play the clip of what Nelson said about him, I want to first apologize to my husband and hold myself accountable because in this scenario, I honestly should not have told my husband to do this. And I know I've said that before, but I want to say it with him here. I should not have asked my husband to respond to this man because I should have known that this man only wanted to come up. He only wanted to, increase his followers and increase, his amount of likes and views. And he thought attacking me was going to do that. But when I told my husband what he said, because he had already deleted the video, my husband went off for what I said, and now he got the chance to hear it. And now that confirms what I told him. So I wanted to say I was sorry to my husband because this won't happen again. Where unless somebody's, of course, threatening my life, but I should have taken this as this man wants clout. I'm just not used to black men with a license coming at me like that without any proper research. And it threw me off. So, babe, I apologize. Let me play this part and then I'll let you speak, babe, and then we'll move forward.
But then, not only that, this woman's husband comes online and direct makes a direct threat online. A direct threat. So this guy makes this threat because I have to be the loving, protective husband. It was incredibly dumb, to be honest. Why would you threaten the things that you have in life, your job? I don't know what else this person has going on positive in his life, all based on the assertions of his wife, and not take the time to think, my wife is always seemed to be inside some type of drama. Maybe I should look into this and see what this really was before I go online and start being Mr. Tough Guy, I'm going to check your temperature. You become an adult, certain things don't really appeal to you as much as they used to. So this tough guy, rah rah, check your temperature type of stuff, it just seems juvenile.
So that show that you guys just saw, that was January 20th of this year. I want to remind you that we had our beef with Nelson in October. Me and my husband didn't do any other videos, posts, or anything about this man. We left him in October. But this man went on Facebook and YouTube tours slandering me and my husband. And his story changed about 15 times. And y'all gonna hear it because it gets really wild. But babe, he said that what you did was juvenile. And I'm always in drama. Now, you know, I've been doing the accountability thing, not going by the name accountability, but I've been doing the accountability thing 9 years. In 9 years, babe, have you ever had to respond to anybody online for me?
No, I haven't. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. So
No.
you're saying you haven't, but I'm always in drama. That's what he said. So go ahead and address how you feel, babe.
First off, man, you know how I am. I normally don't address like the social media back and forth shit with people. I call it the circus. I don't address the clowns at the circus. So, but I gave him 30 seconds of entertainment, which got me 10 months of back and forth with some bullshit. But I keep it brief and I keep it mild, I keep it PG, but at the end of the day, it's a sucker shit. He know it was. That's why did nothing happen with it. I'm gonna keep it moving. I'm gonna keep it peaceful. I don't address like the clown shit. I'm cool with everybody. Just because you ain't eating off my plate, don't mean I don't want you to eat. I want everybody to eat. So to do all of the hating sucker shit and saying all like I'm threatening you and all that shit, bro, I ain't gotta threaten you. I don't need to. I don't need to be that person that's threatening you on the internet shit. So, besides that, I'm gonna keep it moving. Whatever it is you doing in life, man, do whatever you gotta do. I don't need no apology from you. I don't want shit from it. I addressed you for 30 seconds. I kept it moving. You went to each different circus. And when I say circus, I mean you doing a different podcast and shit. Being the clown that you are, going to different circus, addressing me like I'm bullying you. And I only said 30 seconds. I gave you 30 seconds of my time and that was it. So if you felt the need to address me or say something else, you should have just publicly, I mean, not publicly, but you should have privately reached out to me. But besides that, I ain't got nothing to say to you. I let the clowns be clowns in the circus and I keep it moving.
Thank you, babe. And I love you. And you can go ahead and leave, babe. I know you had a long day.
I love you too.
Okay. I see you.
All right.
I'll see you tonight, Clyde.
All right.
Bunny and Clyde. Okay, guys. So as you can see, my husband had only spoken on my show for 40 seconds. 40 seconds. Now, my friend Prophet, who's still here, y'all can see his picture. He spoke for about 30 minutes. And we heard Nelson say that he was threatened by me, Prophet, and my husband. But for some apparent reason, only me and my husband made the paperwork. And he lied to a federal judge, which I'm going to go back to that case too. Because he told her he put Prophet on the paperwork and he lied. See, you lied. That is not good. You lied. And I knew he lied. And I even told the judge, look it up on New Jersey courts right now. But she wasn't going to do it because she hates me. I got that. That's cool. But when I did look up my friend Prophet's name, the only cases I found were from the 90s. So Nelson lied. I want you guys to understand that out of 3 people, he only took 2, the husband and wife. Why? Because the people that he's around hate me. It was about me and anybody that's in my life, like my husband. They said, we don't want to take Prophet, but they continue to tell you guys he's a felon, he's dangerous, but they did nothing about it. So that's a question I've been wanting to ask him, but we never went to trial. This man slandered me so many times and my husband. And I got those videos. They're going to trial. Everything he said was a lie. So I don't give a damn what his minions say after this show, because we all know that y'all some liars and y'all need help. Y'all got problems because this man doesn't know anything about the law. Every court case we had, he called it trial. Pick one. You were wrong and you were spreading misinformation and costing me a lot. Y'all listen to me when I say this. I lost a lot in 10 months and I have the receipts. because of this man lying. People tend to believe a licensed person over someone with 4 college degrees. Crazy, right? I said the same thing. And now after this show, a lot of them are going to want to be cool or want my services. I'm good, because you should have believed me. Everything people are saying out there is allegations. That's all it is. And if y'all are going to believe that, then I don't need you in my life or as a client. So let me get more into this. Hold on. Let me see which video this was.
Because on the outside, it looks like she's doing the community a service. But you don't fight evil with evil. You don't hold people accountable for doing wrong things by doing wrong things to them. It doesn't work when you try to repay evil by evil. That just makes you also evil. And so this woman is clearly, and it hurts me to say, is she's being used by Satan.
Yeah, you guys heard that right? This licensed therapist went on his YouTube and said, I'm being used by Satan. Now, is that freedom of speech or defamation? When I'm coming out here and telling people that I love God, but he's saying I'm being used by the devil. So what do you call somebody doing all these shows that's supposed to be scared of Bonnie and Clyde? And me and my husband only did one. We left Nelson in October, but he's been talking about me all the way up until August. And I got the receipts. It gets deeper because he changed this story. The most hurtful thing you said, Nelson, that will still hurt me to this day, not just about what you said about my mother, but you went on this platform as a licensed professional. And forgive me for getting a little emotional. This man said I threatened kids. Do y'all realize the amount of stuff I lost for him saying that out there? He said I threatened kids. And y'all know I've been saving them. I've never threatened any kids. That ain't me. I love kids. But this man said this with his license. That is not freedom of speech. That's the, guys, he said about 100 things that hurt. And I had to swallow that on January 20th. I could have responded, but we saw what he did the first time. Nelson is the kind of guy that can talk about you and say lies and defamation and slander, but you better not say nothing to him or he's running right down with his khakis tucked to the courts. How is that fair to me? Now, this was after he had already did 2 videos and told on me and my husband and made up a bunch of stuff. And now you're back doing a video before our first court appearance. I want to remind you, we were due in court February 1st. He did a video January 20th. He's supposed to be scared of us. But again, he's being controlled by other people that are telling him to do these things because they hate me. But they keep saying I need a team. And I can name about 50 people this person has enlisted because they hate my guts. And they use this man to hate me, not knowing that this man had a lot to lose. They didn't care about what he had to lose. And he doesn't even realize it. He said, I'm being used by Satan. I knew how to be quiet. You were the one that was loud. I turned the other cheek. But you kept talking. So who's that? Who does that statement really apply to? I'm not going to repeat it back and say that that's you. But come on. I would never let someone that isn't my spouse tell me what to do online, especially if we have a family at home. You got to start using that noggin. Some people might have a license, but it doesn't mean that they're all the way educated. They miss things like this or forgetting that someone said their mother passed. It's crazy, y'all.
She goes online and she starts threatening, saying online that she's going to come after my license by making up stuff, by literally just making up whatever comes out of her butt. So I looked at that and I took that seriously too. And then she made a mention of one of the programs that I was running. These very all-encompassing programs that I run to help kids in our community that are coming from like some terrible backgrounds, to help give them a chance and to provide them with quality counseling, because it is hard for our community to have access to those types of things. So she says the name of that program, where it's located, and that she was going to come down there and tear ish up. Those are her words. Now I don't curse like that, so I'm not going to say exactly what she said, but that is what she said. So she's now threatening children. So she's threatening children. She's threatening my livelihood in terms of my licensure by saying that she's going to make up stuff and lie and cause this to happen. She is threatening to harm my doxing us. She's putting my wife's maiden name and talking about our family and all of these different types of things. And I say, okay, well, I can't. I'm not going to respond like I'm not going to respond like most people would, in terms of like go back and forth and argue with her, because like I said at the beginning of the stream, you don't argue with fools.
And he called me a fool. So y'all just heard this man say that I threaten children. Do y'all know how dangerous that is to say with a license? And I want to remind you guys, do you honestly think if I was threatening kids, they would let me do court hearings by Zoom? Are y'all, come on, y'all. Come on, everybody. Please put your thinking caps on. I just put mine on. Do you honestly think he said that I told people on my show in October, I'm going to go down there where his kids are and tear shit up. That doesn't even, when he said that, I went back and analyzed the video 100 times. I said, did I say that? It's crazy how someone can lie and make you think you really said that. Then he proceeded to say, so she threatens children? That is defamation, buddy. Do you realize what you said is not freedom of speech? You said I threatened kids and I threatened to tear shit up. That could be a terroristic threat. So why would New Jersey allow me to only attend virtually? That should have been a warrant for my arrest for threatening kids, but people still don't use those thinking caps because they believe this nonsense. That was hurtful to hear. Not only is he saying things about my mother, my husband, but he's saying I threaten kids. And you'll see that everyone that's linked to him, they say the same rhetoric. She's harassing me and she threatened my kids. It's the same lingo, just in different bodies. Y'all not catching on to this? They have a big group right now, and all of them are saying the same thing, so it sounds like I'm really doing it. But I want to remind you guys, I currently don't have any charges or convictions on my record. I don't even have a speeding ticket. And y'all really think I'm going to tell someone I'm going to tear shit up? Y'all been following me too long. I love kids. I save them. I don't threaten them. But that's what this man said and got everybody all riled up, like he calls it. But he says I'm the bad person. I'm the devil, right? So if I'm threatening kids, Nelson, why did they let us do it all virtually? Where's my warrant? Where's the proof that I threatened kids? Because what you said, man, that hit home. That hurt. That really hurt. Okay, hold on. Let me see.
I thought that by providing this to the authorities, that she would take a step back and say, and reevaluate herself and look in the mirror and say, okay, am I doing too much? Is this actually right? No. She doubles down. She leans more into what she's doing. I don't take any pleasure in this woman and her husband having to stay in trial, because they are, despite anybody, I don't know any of you guys that have ever been to her channel before, she's probably on there lying, saying that she doesn't have any kind of case against her and nobody's coming after her. No, she will stand trial very soon, the first week of February. So if she's not online at a certain time on the first week of February, because she's probably in a courtroom.
Do y'all see how cocky he was? If she's not online a certain time, first week of February, probably in the courtroom. And again, another slanderous statement. Me and my husband never, ever once went to trial with Nelson. It never went that far. We had hearings, status hearings, and we had pre-trial. Pre-trial is not trial. It's the preparation for trial if it needs to go there. But we never went to trial. But he told all these Facebook and YouTubers and all, I'm clutching my invisible pearls. He told them all this bullshit. They didn't even verify it. They just took his word for it because guess what? When they hear the queen of accountability, they hear, cha-ching, I can make money off of these lies. This man went on like 5 different channels saying 5 different stories and nobody caught it but me, but that's okay.
And this is what bothers me about people like this, because this person right now is receiving a lot of accolades for the so this is a case I don't know much about, but the Rhoda Brick Lady case, the woman that lied about being attacked by a black man. She's apparently calls herself holding this woman accountable. So she had been basically stalking this woman. She had been calling the police nonstop, trying to get updates on the case and feeding them information. And this is information that she was receiving from people that she was at the time partnered with, that were like doing a lot of the investigating, trying to line things up and, you know, put everything in its proper place. She takes all of that information that they provide to her. She goes and gives that to the police and believes that somebody now has to start reporting to her about what's going on. And it's not even just this Brick Lady case. It's also with black women in general. She creates these fictitious scenarios of black women doing something to black men, and that she swoops in like the knight in shining armor and holds them accountable by calling their places of employment and getting them fired and ripping them online and making them write her apology letters and posting them online, threatening them. She's doing this the whole time. So not only does she do this with fake scenarios, she also does it with real ones.
So he's saying what everybody's been saying about me for years. Her stories are fake. But whenever they see me reported, or I'm kicked out of a group, or I'm on a group ban, they never say nothing when I'm not talking. So it's obvious that they know what I'm talking about is true. See, Nelson is saying that I'm not allowed to show you guys people that are putting things out there on the internet. And when I do show those names, he says, oh yeah, those can be verified. But when I'm in private groups and I'm not showing the names of the people that are inside of a private place, that's where I'm messing up. As if that's not hate speech and bullying by Facebook. See, when you've been on probably 60, 30-day Facebook bans in your life, you know the way Facebook moves. They changed it now. So now they can stop me from going live or posting in groups. If anybody has been on my Facebook or Instagram, you will see that I always post when they kick me out of these groups and put me on a ban. And I show it. And that's still not enough for my haters. And that's okay. But the way you're out here talking about what I do, instead of worrying about what you do. On his YouTube, he does these fake skits that go nowhere. They go nowhere. And I don't ever talk about him. He just doesn't do anything that makes me say, oh, this is wonderful. He's trying to be like Darman, but a low budget Darman. He's not even close. But you're talking about what I've been doing for 9 years? You're new to me. I've been doing this, and they've been calling it fake. But the bans are always real, though. It's just the posts are fake. But I'm getting real bans on those fake. Am I preaching today to the choir? So after y'all saw that, right? Y'all saw the timestamp. It was January. Nelson said, I'm still not done. Let me tell you what Nelson did in August. In August, he went on a Facebook Live. And the person's show that he went on, I'm not even going to give her any clout. But he used her platform. And he said, I like to play victim. He used the name victim on it. That was the funniest part. You called yourself victim. But what he said on this Facebook did not align with what he just said on all those videos. Because when you're lying, your lives change. So this should be a lot louder for you guys. This was on August the 1st of 2024. He was not forced to do this, but he did it because he had to do it. They keep telling him, keep doing these shows. It's working. Well, it didn't work. But listen to this.
I did a review of her live stream, and I told people, like, don't ever follow this type of advice. This woman is a pretend therapist. She's a fraud. And she found out about it, and she went online and found my business name. She found my wife and her maiden name and my 4 children, and she just started going crazy online, threatening to come in and harm us, threatening to come and harm the kids that I do counseling for. She named the program that I run that provides free counseling for kids. She named that and said that she was going to come and do some crazy stuff. She just went off, her and her husband. So I couldn't tell if I thought that they were serious, because they even disclosed my location, like where I actually live. So I provided that information to the police just in case anything did happen. At least they would have somewhere to go to start investigating. And that's when she retaliated, when she actually got charged for harassment for that. And she retaliated by filing stalking no contact order on me in Illinois, despite the fact that I've never had a conversation with her, never seen her before, nothing like that. So I was one of the ones that had to go to court just to, like, facing stalking charges. It got dismissed because, of course, it's free speech, but something's wrong with this woman.
So you guys just heard this man say that he called me a fraud and a pretend therapist, and I went crazy. Do you see how he left out the part where he talked about my deceased mother and said lies about my relationship with my deceased mother? See, he minimalized himself. He made it look like I didn't say nothing. I barely said anything, and bam, this woman went crazy on me. Y'all know that's not the truth. And then he said that I said I was going to do harm to him and his kids. So now we went from the kids at his program to the kids in his household. He said that she threatened to harm us. See how they start to lie and add to it? He then said I went down to Illinois and filed a no stalking order against him. That he was right about. I did it after his January show because he told people I was being used by Satan, and that scared off some of the people that I had on my clientele. And I wasn't with that. That was the last straw for me. That's why I did that. If I did that because you filed the police report against us, I would have done it last year, Nelson. Make it make sense. Quit playing victim, and then you're talking all this shit online. That isn't fair. Now I've threatened you, your family, your kids at the program. You are just slandering me all over the block, bruh. And I want to remind you guys, he was cocky in what he was saying. But y'all got to hear this video. This video was not supposed to make YouTube. But see, I just so happened to get an alert from one of my people, and they said, hey, you seeing this? And I caught it right at the right moment when Nelson came onto this person's panel. And now he said another story that didn't match. But on this one, he told people I'm in serious trouble. So again, I want you to hear how he wants people to think that I'm Suge Knight. Check this out.
We got my guy Nelson in the class.
Yeah, what's going on? I just wanted to give a shout out to Gail. So the person that you're reviewing now, the person she's talking about throughout that video is me. I'm the licensed professional counselor that she decided to attack. Programs throughout my state that I'm running that gives all these kids free counseling, as well as in the evening I do counseling for people in my community that can't really afford to go to therapy. So I had to take a lot of my stuff down because she mentioned inside of her video that in her live stream that I have a lot more to lose than she does, and she's actually right about that, because I have businesses across the state and I have programs that I have to run and make sure that my kids are all right. So what she's not saying inside of her live streams is that she's actually in a lot of trouble right now. So she's actually about to stay in trial for um, what she did to me. She's not letting her subscribers know that, but she is actually she's going to court in the next couple of weeks because she decided to run her mouth and threaten people's lives, dox people, put people's personal information out on the internet. And then you guys are seeing on this live stream, she does that and then she plays victim. So she's going between playing the victim to going on the attack. And she.
So you guys heard that. He said, I'm in serious trouble and I'm going to trial. He kept throwing that trial word out there because he wanted it to sound so heinous and so bad so that people, and then when he was on this guy's podcast, that guy had the nerve to call me a low budget Tasha K. Now I know he's not going to apologize because he said all that stuff and I don't even need it. But he's the one that buys his subscribers. He did this video on me, and like when he was done with the video, it rose to 1.7 thousand views and it never moved after that. How do you have 103,000 subscribers, but you're getting 200 to 400 views on some of your content? That means you bought that. See, a lot of us are not stupid. So for you to call me all these names and you don't even believe in your own craft because you have to buy support, we're not on the same page, bruh. You're buying support. Your video should never hit no 400 views with 103,000 subs. And you got a play button. So apparently on YouTube, you can buy subs, hit that 100,000 mark, and get you a play button. And when he was live, he only had 11 people listening. How do you only have 11 people listening with 103,000 subs? And then he called me Whoopi Goldberg. He started insulting my looks like that was supposed to hurt me. Now, I didn't tell my husband to go at him because when I saw his teeth, I understood why he was jealous of me. He wants what my husband has. Beautiful white pearly teeth that are brushed thoroughly 3 times a day. When I saw his teeth, I felt bad. I'm going to start a GoFundMe for his teeth because apparently buying subscribers and likes and views is more important than getting a dentist to fix those rotten teeth. Yuck mouth. It's to be called Yuck Mouth Podcast. Yucky yuck. Jerome, you got them teeth. Should I put it here? Should I put it? That's you. But you calling me Whoopi. Even Whoopi bagged 3 husbands. I'm shocked. But you have no room, baby. You don't want these roasts. You don't want it. You don't want it. Because I know how to roast people too. I used to be a comedian back in the day in the streets. So before you come from me, make sure you have all your teeth and they're white. But he let Nelson speak and he started badgering me, calling me all type of names off of this man's allegation. Nobody wanted to confirm his story. So now all of these people look like losers in real life because they took the biggest L. The biggest L came from Nelson and his team of minions. And I know how each one of his minions move. I call stuff. And what we're going to do is to anyone that follows me on Facebook, I'm going to do a chat. Oh no, I'm going to do a group. And I'm going to show you guys the proof that I was feeding those people. So they got Nelson to tell people that they gave me the information on the brick case. If anybody goes to my video from 8 days ago where I talked about the brick case, I came with receipts. I was on the brick case from day one. These fakers came into my life after I had already spoken to the police and helped them solve the case. Everything else was easy for them to do. Nobody gave me pertinent information that helped solve this case. I did that on my own. And if you look at, and what I'm going to do is show you guys the text messages. I'm going to blur out numbers, but I'm going to show you how much I gave them. They didn't do nothing important that solved this case. TikTok videos and Instagram videos did not solve the case. It was Rhoda's first scam. And I'm not going to keep saying that. But you can tell who told Nelson to say that part because they wanted everyone to believe that they gave me the information. So if you guys gave me the information, why the hell did y'all not break the news on January 16th? Y'all came after me. But remember, you guys fed me because I got the alert. I got the call. You guys heard the sergeant say if or when there are charges, I will let you know to look online and you'll find it. How do y'all think I found out about it on January 16th at 9:34 p.m.? And then the next day, January 17th, that's when the whole world started following me, the leader. Timestamps don't lie. So if those people solved the case, why was I the first to break the news? Let me guess. Y'all sent that to me? Prove it. Because I know y'all lying. So again, guys, these people are jealous of my success. But I wanted you to see how bad this got. Me and my husband were dragged to court for almost 11 months. And every time we went to court, the same stalkers were following me from court case to court case to court case to court case. But they say I'm stalking them. Took a picture of me at a domestic court and sent it to third parties. Altered the picture. Got me looking like a totally different person. I told my husband, who is this? He didn't even know. So of course they're going to take a picture and alter it to fit the narrative that I'm ugly. Because they hate me. But I know where the picture came from. And now the state attorney knows. Because when you are on a Zoom domestic or criminal proceeding and it says no photography or videography, that means no video recording. That means no picture taking. So it wasn't hard for me to narrow down who took that picture illegally of me. Now it's time for accountability. And I hope it was worth it because only 3 people shared the photo, but not where it actually came from. So that was easy to figure it out. Every time I do a court proceeding, I do a check with my husband to make sure everything's on point. They made me look crazy, and that's okay. I'll take it. But we know you lying. But guys, I wanted to show y'all something else. This is the part that really blew me. I want y'all to see the police report because Nelson told the police that I sent people to threaten him. If anybody follows me, I tell you guys I don't need help. I don't need anybody slandering him and calling him ugly. When he started attacking me and my looks, I could have talked about his wife. I actually had a picture to show people, but I said, no, I'm not going to go down low like that. I'm not going to be petty. It's just shocking that he has a lot to say about me. And if this was fair, I could say what I want about his wife. Because he talked about me and my husband, calling him incredibly dumb, talking about my mother, talking about my father. And I never even insulted his wife. And it would have been fair game. I'm not over here talking about how big she is or how she's missing her side teeth. No, I didn't say those things. But I just find it funny how you have a lot to say about me. And I'm not even going to show you his wife. Y'all know what my husband looks like now because of him, right? But I'm not going to reciprocate that negative energy. I just hope that your wife knows what you do behind the scenes. Because I would never want my husband to attack other people because he doesn't like what they say online. Move on. You said that you're a Christian guy. What Christian you know attacks people online and judges them and then lies about it? So anyways, here's the police report. Everybody make sure you take a picture of this just in case. Well, you know what? I covered up his first name because on YouTube, if someone shows your full name, you can get them for privacy. So I made sure I only showed his last name to match what name he goes by online. So here we go, guys. Okay, so as you can see in this police report, it's a lot. This is like an essay. I thought he was going to school on this one. So he came into the courts and he said, actually it does show his name. Whoops. Well, I'm gonna have to take that. He said that he's a victim of cyber harassment. He provided paperwork to complete. Now I'm gonna skip through some of this because he said a lot. He returned with a 4-page typed up statement and screenshots of various members of the online community. He said my alias, Queen of Accountability, YouTube channel, blah, blah, blah. I began with the campaign of harassment through derogatory comments, insults, and threats. So he's saying that I threatened to harm him, that I had my followers make threatening remarks. I don't know which one of my followers threatened him, but if any of you guys threatened him, please don't do that. I mean, he never proved what followers said it, but if you're following me, I don't need your help. Do not threaten this man ever. Because you're not going to be on my good side doing that. Okay, so blah, blah, blah. He said I also revealed his full name and his license number and where he does his job or whatever he wanted to say there. So again, you guys know I didn't say that. My friend Prophet admitted that he said that. But I want you guys to know that Nelson said I did it, but I didn't. He said that I sent my fan base. Mr. Nelson was getting constant messages stating that if they do not receive an apology within 24 hours, something was going to happen. So we know that my friend Prophet told him to take down the slanderous video in 24 hours. He said I sent my followers. There's only one person that said that, and I didn't send him. He was on my show, and he said that with his chest. So if you guys look at this police report, he went into full detail, and he lied about everything that happened. I never threatened him. I never sent my followers to threaten him and insult him. He's lying. He only said that to make it look like I'm Suge Knight. And I'm not Suge Knight. I'm not. And it gets worse. Like I said, this report kept going on and going on and going on. Yeah. Online harassment. He said he became a target of online harassment initiated by Daphne Sutton through her social media platforms. She used her online presence, which boasts over 10,700 followers. Dang, that was in October, and I'm at 26,000. Okay, D, go ahead, Daphne. To launch a campaign of harassment against me. This harassment included derogatory comments, insults, and threats made through comments, messages, and live panel. So again, he said that we threatened him. He said that we were the big bad bullies. And then you know what happened? We ended up getting a case. But guess what, guys? So I want to let you guys know that first I want to show y'all this. He said to you guys that I got the order because I was charged. On August the 1st, he said I had got this order that you guys are looking at because I was already charged. I want to remind you that our first court appearance was February 1st. Mr. Nelson was served on February the 2nd. Let that sink in. And the reason why he was served this document, and I'm sorry it looks bad like this, but his police department sent that to me like that. He was served that document because on January 20th, he was slandering me and my husband. And I didn't think it was fair for him to run down to court and cry about us threatening him. But then you're over here talking about it still. And when I got that order against him, he shut the hell up until we had trial. He was silent as a mouse. So it worked. I just wanted him to stop talking about me and my husband because we weren't going to go back and forth with this man. It was getting tiring. And I knew the outcome. But I want y'all to know something. He had a whole list of people that had his back. Because on January 17th, when Roa Osman found out that she was wanted by the police on a felony warrant, somehow Roa got my New Jersey information and she posted it to 27,000 people. And when that went viral, Roa also told people that I had 2 warrants out of New Jersey. That is why I called New Jersey on my Instagram and showed you guys that she's lying. See, Roa is supposed to be a PhD student. So when she was looking at that New Jersey case, it said VIRT for virtual. So she was telling people I had a felony virtual warrant. How are you a PhD student and you can't tell what a virtual court case is? If it's virtual, there's no warrant. The virtual wouldn't be there. But I want you guys to know that when Roa shared this, I started getting flooded with messages. You're threatening people? I thought you were a mental health advocate. What is this, Daphne? We believed in you. Really? You're that bad of a person? Guys. And then I had to say, well, I know that Nelson didn't send it to Roa. Who else hates my guts? Y'all already know. And don't say the name. Don't. But the same person that was saying that Roa's a bad person became Roa's friend. So then Roa started posting my court case and my husband's. That was embarrassing because I said, why would they choose this day? Because this was the day where Daphne Sutton was being recognized by the Houston police as helping them solve the case early in the game. And this person got so jealous and angry, she sent Roa my information. And this is what happened. I come with receipts. So this is what Roa put out there. And y'all can see it clear as day. That is me and my husband. And y'all can see at the top, it says Roa reports. So Roa was sent this information. This is how big it got. They wanted me to look like I was a criminal. And Rhoda posted this on January 17th, the same day I was recognized. And then if you look at the second part, Rhoda said I had 2 warrants. 2 warrants. And she was lying. And if you look at the bottom, she tagged my name. How do y'all think Rhoda got this information? It wasn't Nelson. But y'all sitting here saying I need a team? This person was so jealous of me being recognized for the case that they sent it to Roa Osman. So I had to go through that. And that is why I went down to the courts and handled business. Because I was sick of this person harassing and terrorizing me. And I knew that Rhoda, now I want to remind you, Rhoda posted that on January 17th. January 16, 15, 14, she never found out about this. Only on that particular day. So it's not hard to narrow out who sent her this. But that's how jealous these individuals were of me, that they wanted Rhoda to see it. But not just Rhoda. Guess who else shared my New Jersey court case? Anyone want to guess? Who else did I talk about on my panel? And I had as victims on this panel. Who else did I talk about recently where I amassed over 20,000 views on my video? Anybody? Anybody want to take a guess who else shared my New Jersey court case? The plumber. Shout out to Mo. Shout out to Mo 412. So I got a call from the victim. And the victim said, "Are you on the plumber's live? TikTok live?" I said, "No, why? Why would I be on there?" And she said, "Because he's sharing a case with your name on it out of New Jersey." And I said, So I know Nelson wouldn't send that. The same person that became cool with Rhoda became cool with the plumber and sent the plumber that same information. There's your receipt. Now, it's hard to see it because he was holding it the wrong way. He has a journeyman license, not a degree. So we can't fault him on that. But if you look close to it, you'll see my name. It's just backwards. So I asked myself, how did the plumber get this New Jersey case? And his TikTok was booming. This man had a lot of people listening. What did it say at the top? 1.1 thousand people were watching this. And in the comments, they were calling me a criminal. In the comments, they were saying, wow. And yet she's saying that you're a bad guy. So the same person that sent Rhoda my information sent the plumber my information. And y'all telling me that it's me. I'm crazy. That I have a team. This is how jealous these people are. Look at it again. This was recently. This was in August. So when I get a call from the victim and they're telling me, I know who did this, I do too. Man, they are obsessed with you. I know. And the plumber was saying that I'm a criminal. And he was saying that I'm wanted by the New Jersey police. He even put that on his GoFundMe. And y'all sitting here telling me that nobody's trying to get me off of this platform by lying like this? Do you think Rhoda and the plumber are going to say sorry for spreading this misinformation? No. Just like the person that gave it to him. They're not going to double back and say, I fucked up, I took an L. They only wait for me to take L's. That's all it's about. It's a game to them, but this is my life, y'all. This is my life. Rhoda and the plumber both had that same information. I need y'all to take this screenshot too. Shout out to my attorney, my team of attorneys. Shout out to Mr. Robinson, who had my back. This Black attorney is in New Jersey. He's the one that ensured that me and my husband got justice. And the reason why I want you guys, I'm sorry, I only make this 20 seconds. The reason why I want y'all to take the number down is because after this show, you're going to hear people doing shows because I'm in control. I know what they're going to do before they do it. I know their playbook. They're going to do shows about this incident here. And they're going to try to say that I'm wrong and I'm lying. My attorney told me he may even say that he got it dismissed because he felt bad for us. Y'all, this case went on for almost 11 months. Y'all heard this man say, I'm in trouble. We're going to trial. He doesn't take threats lightly. We heard him say all this negative stuff. There was nothing in this, in those receipts of him saying, I really feel bad and I'm not going to let this keep going. He let it go on for 11 months. But my attorney made sure that the truth was going to stand tall. So the truth is, before we had our court appearance on Thursday, I sent the prosecutor, I sent everybody the receipts of Mr. Nelson doing these Facebook tours and YouTube tours, saying different things that don't align with what he said 20 times before. Every story was different. I sent them all that evidence. So those people encouraging him to do that, it hurt him. And guess what? The prosecutor told Mr. Nelson, if this goes to trial, you will not win. Now, guys, please take a picture of this phone number. Call my attorney and tell him that Daphne sent you. And say, hey, Daphne gave us permission to ask you about this. Did Nelson have a shot? He knows the truth. He knew that he did not have a shot in hell. If this would have went to trial, he would have been embarrassed because I came with the full receipts. That's the truth. So don't let this man sugarcoat it and tell y'all, oh, no, it was because, no, you weren't going to win. All this stuff you've been saying, you were not going to win, sir. We know the truth. The prosecution and my attorneys and my husband's attorney, they know the truth. They told him the truth. This is not, I knew it was dismissed before he even came back on the Zoom. I knew it was dismissed. I knew my evidence was pertinent. I knew I had the best evidence. And at the end of the day, he might tell a different story, but let him. Y'all got that receipt. So on Thursday, Mr. Nelson came on the camera and he told the judge that nobody coerced him to say that he wants to dismiss the case. And the case was dismissed. Dismissed. Not because he felt bad for me and my husband, but it was dismissed because he knew he wasn't going to win. Not only was this case dismissed, it was expunged, meaning this is what you guys were used to seeing from Rhoda, the plumber, and all of Nelson's minions. Remember this? I even had people harassing me on Christmas. You're about to be indicted. You're going to be indicted. Come on now. Now it says disposed. Y'all see that? I need everybody to take a picture of this. Because if you see the original one online anywhere, please tell me so I can get them strikes happening. Please tell me. Because at the end of the day, I don't want nobody spreading misinformation about me. There's nothing against me. And then there's my husband, William Sutton, disposed. And then look at the last part. Now when you look at it, you can't find the cases. Ain't God good? Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Won't he do it? 11 months and now it doesn't even exist. It's poof, pow, gone. So now when you look up my name and my husband's name, nothing is there. We took a win. Nelson and his team took a major L. 11 months of hell. And it's gone. So don't let that man tell you that the prosecutor said, hey, we should do it. Okay, no. The prosecutor told him you won't have a shot in hell at trial. So Mr. Nelson did what a smart person would do. He backed out. He never said he was sorry. We weren't going to get that. He said he was sorry when he had trial with me. And I'm going to get those receipts for you guys. He said, I am wholeheartedly and sadly and sorry. And I never said I'm sorry back. Maybe that's why I lost. Because I didn't say sorry back. I wasn't sorry. I wasn't sorry for defending my mother and myself and my husband. Sorry. Not going to do it. But I wanted you guys to see that in HD. There are no New Jersey cases against me or my husband. It is gone. Not even on the record anymore. So anytime someone puts that out there, I'm going to strike them. I'm already ready. I know somebody got some stuff pending coming up soon. You better not be showing my name. It's going to be poof, pow, gone. I don't care. And if they strike me today, I don't care. I haven't been, in any trouble. I don't care about YouTube. I'm going to take this right to my Twitter space and we'll do a part 2. But this man tried to ruin me and my husband's life, y'all. So the first person I want to talk to is Miss Wesley. Can you unmute?
Hey, Daphne.
Hey, so I know you probably heard a lot of what I played, and then Kwame, I'm gonna hit you last because you got a business. So, Miss Wesley, you have been in my circle since last year. Is that safe to say?
Well, I would say longer, but yes.
Well, well, I'm saying as far as giving you, coaching. That happened
Oh, yeah,
starting last
yeah.
year. Because I got to
We've
look
been,
at you as a
yeah.
client. I got to look at you as a client. Okay.
Okay.
So, Miss Wesley, you told me that you had therapy in the past. Is that correct?
Yes.
How did that go for you?
I had a very traumatic experience with therapy. I had a therapist that called me nuts. I was, basically gaslit me. Anything that you're not supposed to do with a client, she did. Um, and I was going through some stuff. And when I really needed therapy, I couldn't get it from a reliable source. And I had heard about what you do for men and reached out to you to see if you talk to women. Because I was really impressed with the work that you did with men. Um,
Okay, so I want to stop there because I don't want to keep this show going too long, but I want to kind of sum it up. So,
okay.
since receiving my coaching,
Hmm.
how has that been to you? I'm sorry. How has that been for you compared to the therapy that you've received?
Well, it was different because it's not like life coaching is definitely different than actual therapy. But you showed me things that I never thought of and did not sugarcoat stuff. You were always straight with me. And I didn't always agree with what you had to say, but we worked it out and you gave me the space to work it out instead
Let,
of just,
let me ask you this: the negative people in your life, was I right about them?
absolutely.
And I remember you were in a very nice apartment, but you hadn't moved things around yet. How did that
I
go?
I had lived in boxes for like the first 4 months I moved in here, just because I had lost everything and really starting from scratch. And by the time we got done with our sessions, my apartment was put together, and I sent you pictures saying it was done. It's done. I just got up and just did it.
And I was very proud of you. So when you
Yes.
hear a licensed therapist say that I'm a bargain bin life coach, how does that make you feel?
I didn't really realize all that stuff that was going on. I've never heard of this dude, but man, um, got some nerve. Um, because first of all, I don't look at life as life coaching as a bargain bin therapy, because you can get mental health visits for free through the ACA. So that's a bunch of crap. But I, you know, even though you go to therapy, it's not always good. And like I said, I've had a really bad experience, and you were able to help me, and that's the bottom line, is that I was able to get the help.
Thank you. I definitely appreciate you and you giving me that, giving people a little view of that because when people insult my work, now let me ask you this. When you
Mhm.
became my client, did I send you a contract?
Absolutely. I asked a lot of questions too. I wanted to know your background and what this was all
Oh,
about,
you sure did. You
and
sure did.
I wanted to make sure that it was legit,
Mm-hmm.
that it wasn't just fly by night, because there's so many people that just pose by fly by night and
Mm-hmm.
say they have licenses and they really don't, and things like that. And yeah. So
Well,
I asked a lot of questions for you, and you provided all the documentation for me, and you let me decide. You did not coerce me in any way. You know, I was able, and I did my own research as well. And yeah, I mean, you made me feel very, very comfortable.
is it safe to say that I don't have a problem with women?
Oh, absolutely not.
Because you
Absolutely
had
not.
you had men in your life that needed accountability to be held
I
to.
had men
Okay.
and women in my life that I had causing me issues. Yes.
Well, there you go. Well, Miss Wesley, I want to say thank you. I'm sorry you guys hung on so long. I forgot how many clips I had of this man, so I want to say
No,
thank
you
you.
need to do what you need to do, and I mean, and you just keep going, Queen, because these haters come out and things like that because they're jealous.
Oh
They
yeah.
want the clout.
Oh
They
yeah.
want the clout. They want
That's right.
the and I saw a meme. I don't know if anybody's familiar with it, but it's something about when you help the poor, you help people out, put the phone away. And it just really goes to show that you don't need to show everything you do as goodwill. because it's for yourself and not to put on airs for everybody else.
That's right.
Um,
I agree.
so I just
agree.
that's why you don't need to put out everything you do, because it comes back to you twofold in other ways. So
That's right. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Miss Wesley. You can go ahead and hang on, or you can go. I want to get to Kwame because I know he has a very, very busy schedule. Kwame,
uh,
guys, he's the one that always sponsors my shows with his wonderful cupping. Kwame, I know that you reached out to me this year as well, and you told me about what you needed help with. How did that go for you, Kwame?
So everything's going real good so far. Daphne's been a great help. Even when it comes to like, she's helped me out tremendously when it came to my mental health problems and everything like that, and helping me to, process and deal with things. And even outside of that, like she's helped inspire me on certain things in my business. And she's even given me the opportunity to advertise on her channel, which is awesome. I've been rejected by a lot of folks. So to have a YouTuber like her, a person with her notoriety, accept a person like myself, I have nothing but infinite gratitude towards this sister. And I don't know. Also, shoot, she is a cool sister to talk to.
Thank you.
She got a lot of insight and a lot of wisdom.
Thank you, sir.
And I actually look up to Miss Daphne and Mr. Sutton's relationship. Like that's what I'm looking for. I want to find my, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to
Yeah.
have something like that. That's a beautiful thing right there. I love that. And they've been married so long, so it inspires me to find my wife like that. So I don't know. There's a whole bunch of stuff I want to say, but my time is kind of short.
Well, no, I understand. I had you waiting for a long time, and I want to say thank you, Kwame, because you didn't have to do this. I know you was like, "What is this about?" And I like to blindside people because people think that I rehearse with people and tell them what to say. That's why when I do shows, I don't tell people what it's about. I just send you the link because I want you to speak
Yeah,
from your heart. There's no rehearsal here with me. If you were to say, "Well,
yeah,
there's times where she's really loud," you're right. I'm loud, but at the same time, I really do care, and I care about your growth, and I meant that from day one. So thank you
and I
so much,
so
Kwame.
appreciate you.
Thank you, sir. And we're gonna talk outside of this, and I'm gonna make sure I feature you at the end of the show too. Okay?
Thank you
You,
so much.
you're welcome, sir. You're welcome. So, guys, like I said, I'm sorry if I was loud and I was cussing. I didn't mean to do that. I just wanted you guys to understand what I've been going through for the last 11 months. I'm more upset that I put my husband through it because he doesn't like to see me stressed and upset. And I feel the same way about my husband. I care about his mental health too. And even though he wasn't telling me, I know that this bothered him. He only spoke for 40 seconds. And this man ran down to the courts and wrote a 4-page essay on what I did and my husband. And my husband only spoke for 40 baby seconds. And that's why I was so shocked that he put me on there. Fine. I said a lot. But my husband spoke for 40 seconds and it cost him 11 months. And my husband is a chief engineer. He was pulled away a lot when there was celebrities there, and he had to run the building and run the stage hands and make sure everything was good. And this took away from that. So I'm glad that I'm able to tell my husband I'm sorry. As his wife, I should have not have brought him up to that because I should have known that this was a way for them to grow their channel. They needed me to do it. Just like the minute I started this show, before I started this show, everybody was calm. The minute the show started, my stalkers was like, bloop, bloop, bloop. Let me put this show in. Let me put this in so I can debunk what she's about to say. But look at who's saying it. Look at who's saying it. All of the stuff that Mr. Nelson did, he was told to do, not by his wife, not by a blood or a relative. Let that sink in. I can't confirm or deny if he's really out there changing lives. But this is not what you should be doing if you're out there in your community like that, Nelson. Take some advice from me. I have one more degree than you do. You might have a license, but I have 2 masters. Don't ever spread misinformation about me. If you're going to spread that, you better have receipts. Otherwise, what you're saying is not freedom of speech. What you did to me and my husband is diabolical because I love Black men and women. And people keep thinking I don't care about women. But in this month alone, I have more female clients than I do men. Last month, it was more men than women. Women love me. The ones that don't love me are the ones that don't like to be held accountable. But that's not my fault. That's a you problem. And I'm going to continue to provide mental health coaching. He said there's no such thing. How can you say that? And you're a therapist. What I can do is help people with a plan to move forward. I don't diagnose them. If anybody looked at my community post, one of my clients, he had the same experience as Miss Wesley. His therapist laughed at him too, and then said, oh, you got PTSD. And I did get permission from my client to speak on this. You guys don't even know who he is anyway. But my client was upset that he was put on medication for PTSD. And I asked him, can you tell me about your life? My biggest issue in my life is getting into small spaces or small cars. That's it? Yes. It causes me great anxiety. That sounds like claustrophobia, not PTSD. They might have similar symptoms, but they're not the same. So you just misdiagnosed this person. And that's my opinion. My opinion was for him to see another therapist. And damn it, I was right. But let Nelson tell it. I don't know shit about mental health. I'm just a caseworker. He also shitted on my career. I wasn't just a case manager. I was the shit. And then he says that I want attention and I like to pad my stats. So when you talk about this program you're doing for kids and how wonderful it is and how all the money goes to the kids and free therapy and free, that's not padding your stats. But when I talk about losing my mother, grandmother, and uncle all in high school, and I still graduated 4 years of high school without missing a day, I can't pat myself on the back, Nelson. How dare you? That's pretty much fucked up. I went through a lot and still was the only senior in my class to never miss a day. So I can't give myself credit. Then he talked about my domestic violence and said I gave my abuser a pass. I'm not understanding why he hates me so bad. But I don't hate you, Nelson. I don't hate you. I hope that you learned your lesson. Because what you did to me and my husband, accountability is always going to be held because you were wrong. You said a lot of dangerous things about me. You said I threatened your business. When? When did I say your license number? You got me mixed up with my friend Prophet. He admitted to all that. And you lied and said I did it. I'm not understanding. What did I do to you for you to lie like that? I actually thought I had that video, but I can't find it now to show you guys. I didn't say none of the stuff he said that I said. And yet, me and my husband were dragged into court for 11 months. So I'm hoping this is a lesson to anybody else who wants to do what I'm doing. Please understand that there are people in this world who hate your success, and they will do everything they can to destroy it. And that wanted poster that you guys saw, that was just for shock value. I just wanted y'all to laugh with me. That's the original picture. That's the original picture that I had, and I just blurred it out. Me and my sexy husband. That's a sexy man right there. That's a sexy chocolate black man with all his beautiful white pearly teeth. And I would never do that to him again. I feel bad that I did it. I was just mad that this man came from my mother. I learned a lot here. But now I also learned with talking with legal and all that, the right way to do things. And everything he said about me and my husband that was false, you guys heard the truth. It ain't right. And this was a black man that tried to destroy my life. A black man. And yet I don't hate him. I'm angry at what he did because he allowed people to make him do it. That's all I'm saying. I would never listen to someone that wasn't my spouse when it comes to hating someone. But he did. And unfortunately, a lot of you guys know who has been causing me the most disruption in my circle. Y'all know. Nelson has a bunch of people right now in his corner. And even though he did not win and he wanted the case to be dismissed, he's going to make it sound like it was because he had power. He didn't. That's why I want you guys to call the attorney so he can clear it up. Don't let civilians tell you what happened when that's not what happened. If he was going to dismiss the case, it took you 11 months to do that? Because on the last hearing, you wanted trial. He literally said, I want to go to trial. And then we go to pretrial, and all of a sudden he's bowing out. Because I'm telling you, with my heart tonight, he did not have a chance in hell. He didn't even hire an attorney for himself. He was not going to win against me and my husband and our two attorneys, because we couldn't have the same one. But Richard Robinson, he did his thing. That black man in New Jersey did his thing. And he told me that they would try to minimize it and make it seem like he dismissed it because he had the power to. No, he didn't have enough evidence. It wasn't going to go anywhere. I promise y'all that. And now that case can never be reopened. It's no longer on file. It's gone. So when you hear people saying things about me, they're all in the same circle. So now that he didn't win, other people are going to make sure that they try to win, because that's the game. Who can take down the queen of accountability and her scorpions? I mean, really? I'm sorry that I had to give y'all a show like this, and I'm sorry that I told y'all about it last minute. But I want y'all to know that I'm still a little hurt by that, because I go so hard for black men. Black women, y'all know better. But I don't expect this behavior from a man. And to give this 11 months of his energy says a lot. He might not really have the clients he's saying he does. You talk about my business, Nelson, but your practice has been up for what, 5 years? I haven't seen one credible review from one of these wonderful people that you're changing lives. The only two people that endorsed you are both therapists. I can't count that. The only review I saw under this man was on Facebook from 1024. And on 1021, I was asking you where are the reviews. So I'm not even going to count that. Where are the reviews of you changing all these lives? Somebody isn't being honest. So before you start talking about me and targeting me, take a look in the mirror. And if you would have came to me like a man and told me that I said something incorrectly, I would have taken your advice. But you didn't give me a chance. If I'm saying something that doesn't align with your beliefs, let's have a discussion, but don't attack me. That won't go far. I expect better from you. The idiots that are in your circle, I don't expect better from them. I expect better from you. Just like you went to school, I went to school too. I accomplished more than you did. I have 4 degrees. And you keep telling people I don't, prove it. You're saying that I'm not credentialed to be a life coach? Prove it. Because you're not going to like my proof. I'm not going to give it to you. Show me that I'm lying. Nelson also said I'm not married. Show me that I'm not married. Because at the end of the day, you ain't been showing nothing. This man had about 20 of my videos for evidence. And none of those videos had anything to do with him. And y'all telling me that I'm crazy? He didn't download all those videos, though. I know who did. But to have 20 of my videos for evidence and none of them had nothing to do with you. He had a video of a mother twerking on her son. And he was trying to say that I'm wrong for talking about a mother twerking on her. Y'all, am I preaching tonight? This man is telling me that if I see a black woman shaking her booty with her kid, keep scrolling. I can't do that. And I'm not going to do that. So you guys say I don't hold black men accountable. Here I am holding Nelson accountable. He just took the biggest L of 2024. He told his followers he was being attacked by a felon and a mental health impersonator. Defamation. I never said I was a therapist. Never. So for you to sit up there and make up lies about me, that's crazy. But I actually hope that you heal from your traumas. Because clearly something about me triggered you. It wasn't just your minions. You're really jealous of my success. And that's really sad. Because the article I read about you last year, you seem to be doing okay until you did this. You're trying to be known all across the world. A lot of people don't even know you in New Jersey. I asked for profit organizations. Do you know about this and this and this program? And they don't know nothing about it. So somebody isn't being honest, sir. Maybe I should bring those for profits in New Jersey, in your area up here, so they can tell you out loud that they don't know who you are. Maybe you should be collaborating with those people because they're bigger than you. But if you're doing all this big work out there, somebody got to know about you. They don't. So at the end of the day, sir, you need to do some reflecting. And I'm going to pray for you and your family because I don't wish bad on nobody. But what you did to me and my family, I forgive you, but I won't forget. And now I have to continue to do things to make sure this doesn't happen to me again. What you did, it cost me a lot. And to those people who weren't rocking with me when they heard about this New Jersey case, keep it that way. Don't email me after this show because y'all wanted all my attention. I gave y'all the link so you can witness it. I knew the case was getting dismissed. I wanted y'all to hear it, and y'all still didn't believe me, but that's okay. So I'm saying again, the case against me and my husband is now removed off the record. If you go on there and look it up, it's not there. If you guys see anybody sharing any of these cases and saying the opposite, let me know so I can get them for privacy. I have the statement and everything I need to flag them, and I'm going to flag. I'm going to be petty because I'm tired of you guys spreading lies about me so that I can lose in life, and that's not okay. Some of you guys really need a hobby because hating on me is not making me lose people. As far as subscribers, I might lose clients, but people know that I'm not who you say I am. So I just wanted y'all to know the truth. Me and my husband are not wanted in New Jersey. And I want to remind you that in certain states, Nelson could have taken that police report and went down to the courts and got a warrant. You see how easy that is? And a warrant based off of some lies. In some states, you can take that down to the court and get a warrant on someone. So y'all think because somebody got a warrant, that means that they did it? It's off an allegation. That's how easy it is. You heard my friend Prophet tell you how easy it is to get orders against people in his state. They kept calling him a felon and stuff. Now he has to get orders. So he had to look up on it. Imagine getting an order after they ruled against you because you weren't there. Not because what they said was true, but you weren't there. That's dangerous. He said, I'm always in drama, but I don't have a history. And someone told me I'm lying about a speeding ticket. You're right. I did get a speeding ticket like over 20 years ago. I did. I think I was going like 100 and a 70. I was on the road. I'm saying out here in Illinois. I've been out here for 11 years and I don't have a speeding ticket. And I do speed. I ain't gonna lie. Get out of my way. I hunk. I do all that. I look for the cops, but I've been doing good so far. Let me knock on something. My husband doesn't even have a speeding ticket or a ticket of that matter. We don't have criminal records here in Illinois. So if I'm a dangerous person, where's my record? But you will see that I did some checks on other people. And there's going to be future shows. Daphne verse, and it's going to be a few people that I have to tell you about. Because I looked at some criminal records, cash and bad checks, and it gets really messy. And I'm like, wow, how can someone talk about me not having a record and they over here cashing bad checks? Y'all, but they don't mind talking about my friend being a felon. Nelson calling my friend a felon and judging him, not knowing that the people in his circle might have some things that they're not telling him. But it's okay. Jay Letho said a lot about me too, and he's a felon. So there's a lot of people I'm going to be addressing down the road. But you know how I am. I'm calculated and I wait. So I want to say thank you to the people who have been listening across all my platforms. I'm looking at about 500 listeners on my end. I know a lot of you guys in the chat. I want to say thank you to all you guys for continuing to have my back. And a lot of people in the comments, I'm seeing you guys are saying you didn't even know about him. He said that I got orders against people so I can talk about it. Y'all didn't even know about Nelson. So that right there debunks what he said on August, right? August 1st. She gets these orders so she can talk about it online. No one knew that I had an order against him. See how that is? No one knows about the orders I have. And I do have orders out right now against people. And I haven't said anything about the orders. So see, I don't get orders to talk about it on social media. I only talk about it if you forgot. And I have to remind you. But guys, y'all didn't even know I had one against Nelson. So that right there should tell you that I don't do this for clout. I do it because I want y'all to leave me alone. There's people in my life that know I'm a good person. I don't have to say it to y'all. And like I told y'all, there's been a few times where people have sent me Cash App requests. And they just created it. I know I'm being tricked. But if you tell me you're hungry, you're going to eat. That's how I was raised. Whether it's a troll or not, I wouldn't question you on being hungry. I only question people when they need their rent or light paid. But if you're hungry, you're going to eat. So all I'm saying to you guys is that I'm glad y'all heard the truth. How this man talked about me, my mother, my husband, my followers. I know I don't have no cult-like following. I know you guys are not out there threatening people. You would never do that on my behalf. I don't need that help. I need you guys to pray for these people. And if you don't pray, just wish the best for these people. But don't do anything negative in my name. I didn't even like you guys calling him a fat loser or whatever y'all was calling him. It's okay for him to attack me. I'm not going to attack back. But him being a father of 4 kids, he did an article in June of 2023. And he told them his age, his name, his kids. But he said that I doxed him. I never did. That was public record. Him and his wife have an article from 2012 that's public record. That's how my friend Ruben knew about his wife's name. So make sure that there's no public article about you guys before you start talking about us. I don't just be doxing people like that. So guys, I'm just saying, shout out to Anti-Hyena. I love you, girl. Thank you. A married woman who supports me. She's amazing. I just want y'all to know that, look, I'm not who they said I was, an aggressor, where I'm just threatening men online to kill them. But if he ever wanted to apologize, just apologize for saying that I threatened kids. Because, man, that really hurt me. And then they tried to use Jasmine Moss as an example. Y'all know Jasmine Moss had her daughter ripping off the strips of women's private parts for the bikini wax. She was doing that at 4 years old. I wasn't the only one that took Jasmine down. I was just the one who had her last 3 addresses. And I helped them find her. But other people called it in too. If you don't think a 4-year-old waxing vaginas is child abuse, then that's on you. I wasn't just a caseworker for a couple of days. I was the #1 caseworker in the state of Arizona. And I worked my butt off to get that title. And Nelson sat up here and made it seem like it was just a little bit of stuff I did. I knew all about mental health then. How can you tell me what I didn't know? We did have to work with therapists and counselors and coaches because these kids were abused or neglected. So how you going to tell me about me? And then say I don't have a mental health background and I Google medical terms. This man hates me. This is a man doing this to me, y'all. So yeah, I'm a little taken back by that. I'm really shocked that this man was controlled to do that to me. But Nelson, I forgive you, man. No hate. We're not coming to New Jersey. We're not coming to your house. No. I wish the best for you and your kids and your family. I don't wish anything negative on you like you did me, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm still moving forward, y'all. Just know that I love kids. If y'all got anything out of this, y'all know the truth about me. Just don't let nobody speak ill on me like that. Kids is a sensitive topic because I saw a lot of them go through a lot. And if you ever worked in that environment, it wasn't easy. I saw a lot, but I didn't judge people. I didn't judge them like that. I wasn't the queen of accountability when I was working for the state. So for him to sit there and say that me being abused and all that is why I'm like I am, you're a therapist saying that? That hurts. Because it tells me that you might not have learned enough when you went to school. Maybe you should go back and be retrained because you said a lot of things that are not true that can hurt someone's reputation. You need to learn the difference between freedom of speech and defamation and get back to me because 80% of what you said was defamation, buddy. And it's not right. And I haven't said anything defaming about you. Never said that you weren't a therapist. I know you're a therapist. I know you've been in practice for 5 years. I just haven't seen any reviews. And that is freedom of speech. I haven't seen these clients and lives you've been changing. That's freedom of speech. But I would never shit on your profession because I saw your background and I know you worked your ass off for that license. But it's sad that you did this. You did it, not me. So again, guys, thank you guys for listening to my show. And I'm sorry it had to be like this. I will be doing another show. Not on this. I will be doing my verses down the road. So all that stuff is like in the past right now. But I'm going to be doing the dating show. This is going to be a versus, men versus women. This is going to be intense. People have been asking me to do this, and I'm going to do it for you guys. It should be good. But I'm going to mix it in with accountability too. Like I said, at the end of the day, I don't have a problem with Black women. I have a problem with women who are doing wrong. I just posted on my Instagram a woman who flashed a man out of nowhere. But if a man did that, he'd be in prison. And this wasn't a black woman. I saw it online and I shared it. I'm not only posting black women, just lately, y'all been sending me black women on a stripper pole, holding their kid, and they half naked. These are things that our women are doing. And you're telling me I can't talk about it? I'm going to keep talking about it. Show me men doing it, and I'll hold them accountable. Nobody has ever sent me a video of a man doing wrong, and I said, nope, not on this channel. I'm all for it. But if y'all don't want me talking about it, if y'all don't want me posting it, tell those people to stop posting it, because I'm going to keep sharing it. I have a lot of stuff in my phone, and I'm about to post it. Some of y'all might not be happy. Some of y'all are going to be happy. The ones who accept accountability, they have no problem with it. Y'all heard Nelson say I was harassing Rhoda. I was harassing Rhoda. I never called her, never emailed her, never inboxed her. So how was I harassing her? By resharing what she put out there? Come on, you guys. He even said I was harassing Rhoda. And y'all know I wasn't. Calling the police ain't harassing her. This woman divided black men and women for months. That's why, what did he say at the beginning? I don't know too much about it. Well, maybe you should have looked into it before you opened your mouth and believe what these minions are telling you. They didn't feed me nothing. I was on my own island, and these people came on a boat. Can we be a part of your island? Just to use me. Lesson learned. Lesson learned. Because at the end of the day, people are supporting the plumber, and I don't hear them calling the plumber a felon. Look at what he did back then, setting up that Craigslist thing he did and robbed somebody. Look at what he did. He's an actual felon, but they never called the plumber a felon, but they're calling my friend Prophet a felon. Ain't that crazy? I don't hear them calling Jay Lethal a felon. They're giving all these people these wonderful titles, but they gave my friend Prophet a felon title, and that man has saved many lives. Prophet PI on TikTok. This man got more followers than me and all of them put together on TikTok. He is doing his thing. But to say that this man has been in and out of prison, that's defamation too, partner. Good luck with that. All I'm saying is it's not going to be great. When you talk about people's profession and you talk about them and you ruin their reputation, that is where defamation comes in. If I said that, Nelson was an ugly, dark-skinned, man, that's my opinion. But if I said that he was a gay man, that's defamation because I don't have any proof. Y'all see the difference? So you don't get to say that I'm a pretender or I'm an impersonator and I'm threatening children and your kids and the kids that work in that program and I'm going to tear shit up. That is called defamation, sir. So thank you for that. Thank you for lying on me like that for 10 months. Going on 11. So guys, at the end of the day, I hope y'all have a good night. I promise y'all we're going to drop some really good content. I'm sorry that y'all had to hear me yell and cuss, but y'all, this was 11 months. And I'm not going to lie. When I first got that letter in the mail, I was shocked. I couldn't believe that I had to endure hearing him talk about my mother, and now I have to attend court. That was the first time I had a case in my name on record. It was scary because I'm not a criminal. I don't have a history of that. And all I had to do was type in my name and bam, there it was. That was some scary shit. Threatening people. It did get reduced to causing alarm, but man, everybody kept talking about the threats. I didn't know what a citizen complaint was because you can't do that shit here in Illinois. They're not going to waste their time. And most of them saw my record on Rhoda's page. Because when the Brit stuff happened, she was popular. So when people saw it on Rhoda's page, and I had to be alerted that she's posting my information, I was like, man, I can't catch a break. But yet, I'm crazy, right? Nobody ever looked into it. They just went with the story. So again, no hate on my end. But know that after this show, there's going to be minions and people that hate me trying to say something different. They did not talk to the prosecutor. They did not talk to the attorneys. So please do not believe what they're saying. They're only speaking for their friend because they want you to think that this case got dismissed. Now, I have some paperwork showing what I just said. I just didn't want to show it. But I will do a watch party. First, I'm going to let them do what they do, and then I'm going to embarrass. Because I know how it works. I called it before I did the show. People need content. And when they're running out of content, they start resharing old stuff because they're running out of content on me. But I want y'all to know that there are people out there that want me off of this internet by any means necessary. And if you guys are my true supporters, call it out. I'm not saying threaten, but call it out. I can't be at 50 places at once. If you see somebody badgering my name, call it out. Tell them to stand 10 toes. So at the end of the day, guys, like I said, Rhoda, she has a court soon, and I'll keep you guys posted on that. But don't let nobody tell you anything that they did, because they didn't. They're lying. All the evidence is on my video from 8 days ago. They said they helped out with the police report. They ain't nothing on it. And when I made that call and the lady said there was nothing on it, we knew there was nothing on that police report early in September because I had got the tea. And I never had to lie and say I was with a reporting agency. I said my name. I never used a false name. So again, guys, y'all know what it is. So accountability will continue to be held. Shout out to the Black men and women who still support me. I'm nothing without you guys. Thank you, guys. And I hope you guys all have a great night. That's the end of my show, and I'm going to go ahead and close out now.
Experience the fusion of deep suction and therapeutic heat, leaving you feeling restored. Discover a new level of vitality, empowering you to thrive. TheraVolt Cupping. Restore, empower, revitalize. Now available at SoothHub.com. Save up to 40% using my discount code Daphne at checkout. SoothHub.com.